Alright, well, good morning. It's still morning, I believe. No, it's after 12:30. Have some water. But I want to come here today and sit down and talk to you about a serious issue. And that issue is, let's set this up here. That issue is flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. It's not a great term, but it's a quick and it's easy term. People know what you're talking about when they say it. So it's a term that is in use currently. But really, if you start to delve into this arena of thought, it becomes pretty quickly quite a serious quite a serious subject. There's a lot in this if you start to really get into it. I mean, there would obviously have to be a large portion of people out there in the world who are completely aware that this is the shape of the earth, and they would have to be lying on some level. I'm sure a lot of them aren't. I'm sure a lot of them, I mean, I just want to tell you, I don't know. I thought I might have known many different times, but it's really hard. It's a really hard subject. It's really a crazy subject. So, all that. But just once you get started into it, I feel like, I'm not really able to give you my true personal, my own interpretation of this subject. And so hilarious. But I had some things I wanted to talk about, so here I am. I get there. I mean, I was just like getting this ready. I was like getting it ready in my head. And I get here and I'm like, I can just barely get there about the things. Oh, I know what it was. I know one thing I wanted to talk about that may somehow have a relationship to this idea of the flat Earth. But let me just change. Let me just go in a different direction, change the subject. So I also wanted to talk about this other subject. Okay? So I have been collecting books on Dada. Well, Dada, of course, but actually Shamanism. The Shaman. I haven't read this book yet, but I just got it at the library for a quarter. I always mention that. I don't know why, because it just blows my mind that you can get a nice book like this for a quarter. But I have at least 2 or 3 other books on shamanism that I have read, and I dabbled with the idea of kind of changing my life around to that, so maybe I could be contemporary, modern, or some kind of a shaman. I thought about it. I haven't really done any good work in this area, probably, but this is one book I got to read, and I was going to read it yesterday at the Perkiomenville when I was there, but I did not do it. The whole time I was there, got there about, not to change the subject, but I am going to change the subject because this is what I like to do, is talk about what I know. And so I went to Perkiomenville, and I would say I got there about 9. I didn't really look at my clock, my watch, my phone clock. There's a debate whether that's a clock or not, but anyhow, whatever. So, and I started setting up my stuff. I like to just slowly set stuff up. People come by. I mean, I had one lady come by early, and I only had a few things out, and so she said, "Oh, I'll stop by, I'll let you set up." So I guess she thought I'd be like a lot of people that just set up like super quick, but I don't really do that, because I'll just start putting stuff out, and at the same time I'm like working on projects, like collage projects, because I'll find a lot of paint chips in some of my boxes, and then so I get the stuff out, and then there'll be the chips in there, and then I dump them into another little box or something, or I find little objects that aren't really for sale necessarily, or and so I put them in a separate box, and I'm sorting through stuff all the time. Because that's just the way I do it sometimes. So she came back in about 20 minutes, and I had some more stuff out, probably twice as much as I originally had, which was about 40 items or whatever. And then so that I had maybe, just if you count the items, and small ones and little ones and big ones and all that. And so whatever, I had about 80 items out there. I bet a lot of them small. I had a lot of the Beanie Boos out there, Beanie Babies. I heard a guy off in the distance. He's got Beanie Babies. I was like, well, it's not all I have here. I have a lot of Beanie Babies. Yes, I sold none. I almost sold one. This guy, like the duck. It was a nice little mallard duck. Probably a Thai Beanie Baby, I think. And I said $1. And he didn't have $1. He had a 5, and I didn't have change except for my coin change. So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to give you this coin change." "Oh, no, let me just go. Let me see." And I was like, "No problem. I mean, it's fine. Just if you get some change, if you're out and you come back this way, it'll be here probably." So I even left it out as I cleaned up my table. I got done at like 2. I got done cleaning up, so I figured 1 o'clock the place was pretty much emptied out by 1, so I was cleaning up. Took me about an hour. Usually takes me about an hour to clean up and get everything reboxed up there. And so I I got all my stuff in the boxes, and I got it all packed in there. I left that mallard duck out just in case he decided to walk back by, but he never did, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. I thought, a mallard be worth $1 anyway, right? I thought it was a good deal. I don't know. It's a fair deal. Most of my stuffed animals are $1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe you're like out there like, why don't you just give away all your stuffed animals? It's ridiculous. I could give them away. I could do that. I could get a table and just give everything away. Have a free cycle. What kind of karma would that bring if you believe in such things as like karma? I could bring some serious karma, I guess. Or I was also toying with the idea of pay what you like, pay what you want, take what you like. So I tried that. That was in my other video. I tried that with the guy from that wanted that record player. That I'm pretty sure he had already talked to the guy, and he didn't want to deal with the records because records are heavy, and so that's why he popped up right as the guy sold me the thing, so that's why it was like $5. He knew it was going to be $5. So he's like, well, this guy will be happy to just take the records, and then I'll get get the nice record player that I wanted from the other guy, but I didn't want to deal with those for $5, because then he'll make, it won't be a profit, but he'll get his money right back, and then you can have all those free records, which I didn't really want because I already have, like I said, a bunch of 78s and no place to play them. But now I do. It was like, once again, worked out fantastic. Perky Omenville. I swear to God, every time, I swear to goodness, I swear to the powers that be that I always have great experience over there. Sometimes you just get stuff. People, I've got this really cool like musical man sculpture from a guy who I was really into that one particular sculpture that he had there that was being sold, and I think there was at least 4 of them, and he didn't really want them all, but he was just like getting that lot because it was fairly inexpensive, and I don't know if I missed it or what happened, but I walked up and I was like, oh wow, that's a really cool sculpture. He's like, you want to buy it? $3 or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And I think he had paid $3 for the whole lot, so he gets all the other stuff for free, and then I pay him $3. I get the sculpture I want, and I still have it. It's a beautiful sculpture. And I was talking to another guy over there that time, and I was like, I look for sculptures that are like, that are not like complete people, like they might have missing limbs or like, but you know, hopefully these are like actually, you know, either mistake in the firing or whatever, like just torsos and stuff. I've made a few sculptures like that, so I thought, well, I could probably find this guy. He was like, this was the Q Mart actually, now that I recall, and he was like, oh yeah, I can get you all kinds. I can get you as many as you need, as many as you want. Cool. Cheap, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, inexpensive. Great. Sounds great. That was a few years ago. I don't think I ever saw the guy again. Because when do you see these guys? I didn't like get his number. He didn't really want, I don't know if he wanted to give me his number or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, the stuff's out there. I mean, it stays in your mind and you think, oh, that stuff's out there. I like that kind of. That's the kind of sculpture I would do if I were doing a lot of sculpture, maybe. And then I got this one. The Way of the Shaman. So two books on shamanism. I'll read through these. Take out the earmarks. This is a pet peeve of mine. Don't do it. You're just ruining the book. You don't need to do that. You can probably find a better way to mark the page. It's not as crazy as some I've seen. Like, you come in and the guy starts reading the book. Maybe he gets through the preface. Maybe he even gets through the intro. But, I mean, maybe they don't even have this. Then you've got the beginning, The Way of the Shaman, and then right on the next page, right in the beginning bulk of the text, he'll put an earmark right here. I've had this happen. Well, I don't know. It could have been a girl or a guy. I mean, it could have been anybody, really. And then you think, like, seriously? I mean, you couldn't even remember that you were basically on the first page of the main text? Just, wow. I mean, seriously. I mean, like, oh, I want to get, or maybe they just marked it because they're like, I don't want to read any of this intro stuff, but I want to get right to that, beginning text. So, I don't know. This is a little pet peeve of mine. There's a couple of nice images that we have in this book. So, what are they? That is Eskimo Shaman's Mask, the one on the circles, like circles or ovals, and the other one is Sipapu Na. I know Sipapu is where they emerged. It was a Hopi, I think, and it says here Hopi. They emerged from underground, the Sipapu. If I recall that correctly in my previous readings. I don't know what Na means, N-A-H, so it's S-E-P-A-P-O-N-A-H, 4 words. Sipapuna. Sipapuna. So this looks good. It says right here there was a recent painting by a Hopi artist titled Sipapuna, and it's highly suggestive, however, of the mandala-like tunnel experience. right there. So it's like a mandala. I was going to say a mandala. It reminded me of a mandala. And which I have a little bit of experience with. Quite a little compared to many of you out there, I'm sure. I'm really excited about that. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. Talk about those things there. I've got this book which I was showing you earlier, the Dada Guide. That looks really good. And some of the stuff on here says, one of the most prodigiously talented and magical writers, Bruce Shalane, New York Times Book Review. So, wow. So, I mean, this is like the post-human data guide. This is Zara and Lenin play chess. So, I mean, it sounds like a fantasy, maybe, of some sort. And last but not least, since I was in the middle of, and it was this stack here, I had this book, the Ching, I think. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Book of Changes, they call it. And this one is a copy I got at the library. And just wow, look at this. It gives you all the hexagrams right there. There's the full set of them, and you can do a certain amount of divination with this, I guess. I have tried it a few times, but yeah, I haven't really delved into it for the whole of my life. And there's a nice little old receipt in here, dated. It's kind of faded, but I'm trying to see if I can see the date on here. Pretty faded, really, but it was at the Brown University bookstore this was purchased, interestingly enough. Brown, I think that's an Ivy League school. Brown, I think that's like an Ivy League school. Yes? One of my goals, and you set goals, is to become the first host or co-host of primarily unknown person to host Saturday Night Live, or co-host. I could do a co-host. It's a goal. I'm not really going the normal route to get there, probably, but times they are changing. I really wanted to work on because I think it was Owen Benjamin was really going off on Bob Dylan and saying that darkness at the break of noon shadows even the silver spoon, the handmade blade, the child's balloon eclipses both the sun and moon. The understanding know too soon, there is no sense in trying, has no meaning. And that's the first part of that song. It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, maybe it's called, or whatever. It's Alright Ma is the main title. And I think there's some serious meaning there. I mean, I'm not like the greatest person at lyrical meanings. I don't understand them instantly at all, but that particular song, I thought, at least the beginning, darkness at the break of noon, is like there'll be hardship for anyone right in the it will happen right in the middle of their life, right in the middle of it, something like that. And this happens to everyone, including people who are born with special privileges, money, silver spoon, rich. So this stuff will happen to them. And I was trying to get into the rest of that song, and there's some serious meanings in there. And So I might do a video on that later. This was this thing I was talking about here looks like it was 1989. This was purchased at the Brown bookstore, and they paid $11, and it was a total of $10.55. So change was 45 cents. Right, 45 cents. That makes sense. So, I don't know, Ching. I have a few copies of these. I thought this might be the one that my friend John gave me, and there was a nice inscription in it, but this is not that one. I have that one somewhere. I already had the one he gave me was real nice. This one's nice. They're all nice, but that one was really nice. And I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. It's over there. Alright, I'm going to finish this up with that, just for fun. Here it is. This is the copy my friend John Lemazny gave me. Went to Bucks County Community College with him, and we had a great time there. A lot of sculpture, book and changes, and how to use it. So this one even has directions on how. I think a lot of them do, but anyhow, I'm going to read this inscription that John put in here. It's fantastic. Here it is. As you'll read this, let's see if I can put this up here so it looks like I'm looking at you, whatever. As you'll read this, alright, I'm sorry. He's got his cool capital letters there. As you'll read, this is a treasured lifetime companion for any of those times you might ask me for advice. Look within this book. You two people are two of the most special people I'll ever have the pleasure to encounter. I love you. I'll remember you always, John. And so he wrote that to Christine and I. There's a whole big story there about us all, and I was at Bucks County Community College, and I will treasure this book. And we love you too, John. I love you, John. And thank you so much for everything so far, and we'll keep going with all this. So I'm gonna stop this video now and say goodbye. Bye, everybody. See you later. Say goodbye. Give me a buzz. Ring me up. Send me a text. Shoot me over video. Give me a phone call. Drive by out here. Drive by and wave. I got the windows open. Nice light coming in. It's cloudy out there. They were spraying this morning again, so. But I'm gonna go now, and everybody take it